I decided to put one of my units in Dubai JVC on a longer term rental plan rather than opting for short term rental. Now, this unit has been on short term rental for the last 2 years, and this year I've decided to move to a longer term model. So I'm going to break down exactly why I decided to do this and how it is generating optimal returns for me. Here on this channel, we discuss in depth my personal opinions into the Dubai property market, and I give you guys insights as someone who is an investor rather than someone who is just trying to sell you anything, right? So that's the whole point of this channel. When I first started my journey in the Dubai property markets, I had no one to watch that I could just see the insights into their inner workings of their property portfolio. So that's exactly why I've done this. Now, if you do appreciate this sort of content, all I ask in return for giving you this value is if you smash that like button and hit the subscribe button if you do want to stay up to date with my property journey. Also, do remember that nothing in my videos should be constituted as financial advice, because I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a property investor, and I want to give you guys a good insight into the possibilities of the Dubai property market. With that said, I have no idea what's going to happen next in the market, and I also have no idea your personal financial situation. So again, you need to do your own research, and based on your own research, you can then invest in the markets. I'm going to show you every single number to do with this studio apartment so you guys can get a real idea. Now, this is awesome in my opinion, because I would have loved to see this when I was first buying it. Now, this was the second unit I ever bought in Dubai, and I bought it for a price of 429,000 dirhams. Now, that's a little over $100,000, and the price was great, right? I had no idea at the time the price was literally so amazing. And I also did something which is unheard of if you're not sitting in Dubai right now, and that is I got this property on a payment plan. So they actually gave me 2 years to pay off this property, and I put down around 25%. Now that 2 years is almost up, the property is basically completely in cash, and I've used the rental income that I've had over the last 2 years to pay down the property, bringing down the investment amount from my pocket. So the cash on cash return for this unit is incredibly high. Now, there's a possibility to do this sort of thing, and we are finding units that have this opportunity. So if you do want to stay up to date, I have a link to my link tree down there in the description. You can come over, you can ask me questions, and you can also join our investment group so you guys can stay up to date with any of the opportunities that I'm finding in this market. With that said, let's get into the numbers. So we have here the total revenue generated by this property, which was 61,200 dirhams in a year, which is great, right? If it's a studio in JVC, JVC is not one of the most desirable areas in Dubai by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a very decent residential area that I think is growing. The popularity is growing, the rental prices are growing, and the properties are appreciating like wildfire at the moment. With that said, we rented this unit between 3.6 thousand and 7,000 dirhams per month. The average, I would say, is around 5,500 dirhams. With that said, this is on short-term rentals. Now, this isn't to be confused with Airbnb or Booking.com. Those are also short-term rentals, but in JVC, I've found that it's actually better and easier to do monthly rentals. So what you do is you provide someone who wants to move in, a tenant, with everything included in the monthly rent, right? Which is not something you normally get in Dubai. You have yearly rentals. Those are long-term rentals. So with this, I pay all of the fees, including the aircon, the DIWA, the internet, and of course the service charges, which there's no way of getting out when you are a landlord. So with that said, 61,200 dirhams. Now, for the management of this property, I pay 15% per month of the gross income. That's what my management company charges me, and you are able to find lower than this and higher than this. This management company has done me very well so far, and I'm happy to pay them for this because it does actually generate me passive income. They do absolutely everything. They will furnish the apartment, they will handle any maintenance, they will do all of that, and of course, you will from time to time get calls saying something has gone wrong. Recently, I had a water heater that burst, so I had to replace the water heater, I had to replace some of the roof, and of course I had to clean the apartment. So these are things that come and happen in these units, so do put that into your research going forward. So I pay them 15%, which equates to around 9,000 dirhams per year, giving me 52,000 dirhams so far per year in income. Now, on top of that, like I said, we pay for the charges. This is what we give the tenants so they have ease. They can come in, they can stay for a month, they can leave, no problems. So first of all, we have the aircon, which of course we need in Dubai because it gets pretty bloody hot there. That comes to around 400 dirhams per month. Now, we have a cap. So this management company actually caps the amount that people spend on the aircon. Now, the aircon can be cheaper than this, but if they do go over this, like they have it on 16 degrees 24/7, there is a charge, right? So they pay above 400 dirhams, and this is included in their contract. So it's nothing surprising for the tenants. And that comes to around 4,800 dirhams per year. Now, on top of that, we have the DWA charges, which again, they fluctuate, but they're in and around 500 dirhams per month. Now, it can be lower in the winter months and it can be higher in the summer months, but this is something to be expected, and it's around 6,000 dirhams per year. On top of that, I have internet provided for them, very good internet, and that sits at 350 dirhams per month, and that equates to 4.2 thousand dirhams per year. On top of that, we have the service charges, which sit for any landlord for this unit at around 500 dirhams per month, so 6,000 dirhams in total. So the total expenses come to 21,000 dirhams a year for this unit. So gross 61.2 thousand, then we have the fees 21,000, and then we have our net income. We have 31,020 dirhams. Right now, with that model in place in 2022, it generated me 8% ROI, which I think is absolutely incredible. Couple that with the fact that you pay zero tax in Dubai, it's actually a pretty good model. Now, some would argue that just putting your money in the stock market could be a better idea, but I would argue that a diverse portfolio, including stocks, property, and crypto, is the way to go for my investment style anyway. And on top of this 8%, we are not factoring in the capital appreciation of this unit. I bought this unit for 429,000, and the market price sits between 550 and 600,000 today, which is a pretty incredible return in 2 years. But we're not talking about that in today's video. I have actually sold a unit, which we will be discussing in a later video. So smash the subscribe button if you do want to see that video. With that said, I did mention earlier that I have a payment plan on this unit. This payment plan was a 2-year post-handover payment plan. I put down around 25% and I paid off the unit over the last 2 years, and now it's almost 100% in cash. So with that said, over the last 2 years, this unit has generated around 69,000 dirhams for me. In my own investment style, I do not take this 69,000 and go and spend it on lavish dinners or anything like that. I just use it to pay off the unit. This actually brings down my cash out of my pocket price to 359,000 dirhams for a studio in JVC. And if you know anything about JVC, that is an incredible price to be paying. This is how I like to model these sorts of investments in my head. You may have a different idea. You may argue with the way I'm doing this, but this is how I do it because I'm looking for cash on cash return. So my cash on cash return per year for this unit with this model currently sits at 9.62%, which I think is pretty incredible, right? Now that this unit is in cash, it's pretty incredible. Once the interest rates come back down, I do have an idea to actually maybe get mortgages or refinance these units so I can buy more property. But for me personally, I'll be waiting until interest rates drop a little bit to increase my revenue for units that I would buy using mortgages and loans and things like that. And now, like the title suggests in this video, I have actually moved this unit into a longer term model. Now, this model is similar. I still pay for all of the bills. I still pay for the service charge, of course, and I still pay a percent on the management fee. Now, longer term contracts normally have a much lower management fee, around 3 to 5%, but I'm still paying 10% for this management. The reason why I've done this is because they handle everything always. They're the direct contact for the tenant, and I like working with this company, and they tend to get me very good deals. So with this, we have secured a long-term contract for 5,500 per month, 66,000 dirhams total for the year. They pay this in checks monthly, very similar to the model above, except we have guaranteed rental every single month. Now, as you can see, this unit generated 3,600 on 1 month, and of course 7,000 in December. But on average, we're actually getting 5,000 more dirhams using this model. Now, of course, you could argue that putting this on Airbnb or having a more hands-on approach would generate you more income. But like I've suggested, I want passive income for my investment. So I'm okay with this model. With that said, we have the commission dropping down from 825 dirhams to 550 dirhams per month, which gives us a total of 6.6 thousand dirhams and 59,000 so far as our revenue minus the commission from the management company. Now, all of the bills stay essentially the same, and because the commission is lower for the management fee, it puts my total expenses at around 17,500 dirhams per year, meaning my net profit is now 42,000 dirhams a year. Now, this is pretty much completely passive income. And without the payment plan that I discussed with you earlier, this would give me a 9.79% return. So I just realized I had a mistake there, so I updated the calculation here. And after the 2-year payment plan, of course, we would have generated 84,000 dirhams in net profit, bringing my cash injected into this property at 345,000 dirhams, down from 359,000. And if I had have stuck with this model from the start, I would have brought my cash out of my pocket to 345,000 dirhams, giving me a net return of 12.17 thousand. Now, of course, I didn't do this model before, so we are sitting at the same amount. So for me personally, this is generating 11.67% return, which is absolutely incredible. And the reason why I decided to move from a shorter term rental idea to a longer term. With that said, hopefully this gives you a decent look behind the curtain of a rental unit in JVC in Dubai. Like I said at the start of the video, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me using the link tree there. You can join our WhatsApp group, you can talk to me directly, and I can give you some more insights into the Dubai property market. And that applies to whether or not you already live in the UAE or outside of the UAE and you're looking for a way to move. We have partners in many different aspects of your journey in Dubai's property markets and actually moving there, so I can help you along every step of the way. So do feel free to reach out, smash the like button, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.